Good morning, book friends. This is Kat. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I have a book review that I received, or a book review over a book that I received on NetGalley. And so if that's an interest you, stay tuned. Okay, so the book that I did review actually does not come out until June of this year, but I wanted to get my review out there. Might be a tad bit early for it, but I want to be able to have this review so it's a refresh because it's like fresh on my mind. So the book that I am going to talk about today is Indigo Isle by T.I. Lowell. And this is actually my first T.I. Lowell book that I've ever read. I know that she is pretty popular on BookTube, but, or at least I know like she had another book that I think recently came out. And so anyway, so this is my first one, and I will say that right off the bat that I did enjoy this book. It starts off with this girl named Sunny, and she is a movie like location manager and scout. So she scouts locations for the movie projects that she's working with this company in Hollywood, and she sees what is the best setting for the movie. But not only that, then she actually secures the location as well as provides like hotels for the cast, what equipment they may need, or the food that they may need. And so she's basically a location manager at that point. And Sunny loves her job in the sense that she likes to location scout rather than like be a location manager. So she is met with this task to go to South Carolina to look at some of the islands out there, and she happens across Indigo Island. And Indigo Island, or Indigo Isle, as the book suggests, is an isle that has a recluse man who lives there, and he doesn't want anything to do with her or anything to do with the movie. He just wants to be left alone in peace. And so it talks about how they their interactions together, and how they I guess how that relationship kind of develops with that. Well, right off the bat, we know that Sunny did not leave to Hollywood on good terms. And so, and then her job there, we also find that it is not a good environment for her to be in. So like that's right off the bat. And then the recluse has his own story too. That is also, there's some hard-hitting things in there. So like I said, the book was very enjoyable to read. I felt that it was a good pace, and that the settings and the descriptions were very well written. Like it put me in this peaceful mindset every time we were on the island, because that was the big thing that was described there, was just the peacefulness of everything. And it's got some good Southern charm in there too. So I enjoyed reading about that. Now, I will say that Sunny, in some cases, reacted in ways to where I felt like she was younger than what she is. So she's supposed to be a 30-year-old, and I felt that there were just some cases where she reacted like way younger, more like a 20 or maybe late teen. But that's just a minute detail, and that's just my small critique about it. But there were also other topics that could be triggers. And so if this is something that you are looking into, but you want to look into the triggers, I suggest that. But there is a trigger of abuse in it. And so just wanted to point that out there. As far as the details going into it, to me, didn't feel like it went overboard with it or anything, but like it's definitely there. So just forewarned for that. Another thing I will say is that there were some scenes that I felt like were borderline too steamy for my taste. I know everybody's taste is different, but I felt like we were just right there. But it did not take away from the enjoyment of the book for me. I will say that out. I will put that out. There was no language in the book from what I can remember, so that's another, check off my list of, okay, that's, to me an enjoyable read. And I guess the last thing I want to say is that the faith content in this book was there, and it was an overarching theme, but it doesn't seem to start off that way, but halfway towards the end, we see a lot more of it. And so I did appreciate that from the author. And I did get to review a lot of her other books after I read this one, and found that she was indeed like a Christian author, to where she puts that in her books. And so I enjoyed it. I think that if she continues to write stories the way that she does, as far as with like the descriptions and the faith content. And personally, I liked the part where she puts a little bit of history, especially with like the indigo. This is called Indigo Isle, so there's indigo on it. And so when she puts a little bit of history in there, I did like that. And so, yeah, I think that kind of sums up the book in my opinions about it. But like I said, this is an author that I would definitely read more from, and I hope that this was helpful for you. And like I said, it comes out in June of this year. And so yeah, if you enjoyed this video, give me a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.